Marcus announces a cut in the repo rate in HIV counselling and testing campaign proves successful. Good afternoon. Reserve Bank Governor Gill Marcus has announced a cut in the repo rate of 0.5 percentage point to 5%, meaning interest rates will decline by 0.5 percentage point to 8.5%. Economists had expected rates to remain steady. Governor Marcus was speaking in Pretoria. She says inflation is expected to stay within the 3 to 6% target range for this year and next year. Marcus also says the Monetary Policy Committee is of the view that the global economic outlook has deteriorated.
SABC has therefore decided to reduce the repo rate by 50 basis points to 5% from Friday 20th July 2012. While it is recognized that such a move on its own will not overcome the challenges facing the economy, it is felt that it can help alleviate some of the pressures faced by some sectors. A sustained increase in the potential output of the economy will require a concerted and coordinated effort from both government and the private sector.
Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi has attributed the success of the country's prevention of mother-to-child transmission program to the National HIV Counselling and Testing Campaign. At least 20 million South Africans have been tested for HIV since the campaign began in April 2010. An impact study by the Medical Research Council shows that HIV infection has been prevented among more than 170,000 babies in the last 2 years as a result of the program. Motsoaledi explains.
I'm pleased that we can report to the nation that our programs are actually working, that we are now in a position to save lives, and we are also proving that testing and putting mothers and infants on treatment early on work. That's why early on I was saying the HIV campaign has helped to turn the tide in our country.
Non-governmental organization Equal Education says the report that the Human Rights Commission has released illustrates that the Basic Education Department is contravening the Constitution by failing to ensure that there's basic infrastructure in all schools. It's emerged that poor provision of textbooks is nothing new and is a widespread phenomenon. The Commission says since 2002, many learners nationwide have not been provided with textbooks. It says in 2007, only 45% of grade 6 learners had textbooks and only 36% had maths textbooks. The 2010 report had been included in the launch document of the Commission's Charter of Basic Education Rights for Children. Equal Education's Darren Isaacs.
The draft charter says very explicitly that the steps being taken by the Department of Basic Education are not adequate and fail to meet constitutional obligations. In fact, it says that the downgrading of norms and standards to guidelines, which is what has been done by the Minister, is a violation of the Constitution.
Police say they are optimistic that they will find the 5 men who are responsible for the shooting and killing of a Tshwane Metro cop during a robbery at the Wonder Park shopping mall north of Pretoria. The police officer was waiting at the mall with his colleague when the 5 armed robbers shot him in the upper part of the body and stole his service firearm. His colleague was not wounded. The SABC's PUM Kize is at the scene.
Police say after shooting the Metro cop, the suspects went to a jewelry shop whereby they ordered staff to lie down. One staff member who was in the storeroom managed to activate the panic button. The robbers fled the scene in a black Nissan hardbody with an undisclosed amount of jewelry. It is understood that the robbers then abandoned the vehicle kilometers away from the mall, where they made off in a minibus taxi. No one else was injured during the robbery, but staff at the robbed store are in shock. PUM Kize, SABC News, Wonder Park Mall, north of Pretoria.
On to our final story now. The Burmese State Television has, for the first time in decades, carried a live broadcast of the annual memorial of the assassinated father of the opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi. The democracy leader, General Aung San, was slain with 8 of the country's other independence heroes. Recapping our top story this hour, Reserve Bank Governor Gill Marcus has announced a cut in the repo rate of 0.5 percentage point to 5%, meaning interest rates will decline by 0.5 percentage point to 8.5%.